What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I, of course, am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having a great hump day. It is Wednesday. We're obviously halfway through the week. We had the Monday night game, so things moving along. We're here, baby. We're going behind enemy lines. We're going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. Can't talk today. That's fantastic. It's been quite a long day. Hopefully, you guys are having a good one. My man Christian in the building. Thank you to you and everybody else that's taking the time to tune in on this Wednesday night, almost 9 o'clock. If you guys are watching this later, you can always comment. Always, I love having interactions, even with the opposing team fans. Always love to hear the feedback, especially when we're talking about the opposing team. So tonight we're going to talk about the Chiefs roster, talk about what they have going on, what we're about to see this Sunday, 1 o'clock. Going to be very intriguing, but we'll just get right into the Eagles news first. If you guys have anything, any kind of questions, any kind of comments, you can always throw them my way. Always welcome. Love to talk some birds. So let me know what you're thinking. After that horrible loss to the Cowboys, we talk about tempering expectations this year, expecting bumpy roads. But my God, did we expect to go into Dallas and lose like that? No, nobody wants to see that. So Nick Sirianni talked about, a lot of those RPOs. We talked about, maybe Jalen Hurts was in positions where he, could have had a play where they were running the ball and he changed it. So, and also those RPOs, that's his decision whether to run the ball or not. So a lot of the times Jalen Hurts making the wrong decision. You heard him putting it on himself. So I really, both of these guys got to get on the same page, and they're a young team. They're the third team, third game together. Dear God. And I just really feel like these guys, it's going to take some time, but people are freaking out and we just need to relax. About to eat some dinners. Can't say long. Hope Gordon doesn't have a big game. Josh Gordon won't be playing, my man. He just signed there. He's just getting back to football. Good for him. We talked about that last night. Happy for him. But we won't have to worry about him. He will probably 2, 3, 4 weeks till he can, get up to game speed. We'll see what happens there. But he's going to really help them out come playoff time. He will be a force. That's going to be scary if he can, be even somewhat like he was a few years ago. So we shall see. Now, on to the Eagles news. You guys saw yesterday that Richard Rodgers was released from the practice squad, and then Sua Opeta was promoted to the active roster. So that opened up a couple spots on the practice squad. And Sua Opeta, we need guys on the line. We had Jack Anderson we brought in. So these things, they're going to happen, but we brought in an offensive and defensive lineman. All the injuries we have going on there. You have Casey Tucker back for the 374th time. And then you have Cameron Malveaux out. This kid, just last played for the Browns, I believe, and he's been all over the place since 2017. We'll just throw up a little something about him out of the University of Houston. He's 27 years old. He was undrafted in 2017, 6'6". I've also seen 6'5", whatever, 265 pounds. Big dude. Can help you on special teams, block some kicks. Go check out my on the YouTube page. Posted a tiny little clip. There's literally like no clips of this dude. Your guys, at the college, wherever, your boys, get them to literally, take some video here, man. What the hell's going on? So, but there's some highlights there. Him blocking some punts, some kicks, and I searched through some games, try to find some stuff. So he looks like he could help us on special teams, and a bigger guy that can help on the outside, defensive end, obviously, but an edge rusher for us, not somebody going to play too much inside there. And he's only played in 15 games, 0 starts in his career, but you see all the teams he's played for. Some of those teams just practice squad. But he's had 19 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 quarterback hits, 1 forced fumble, 4 tackles for a loss, and 1 pass deflection. So, this is just, a depth piece. We're losing guys, so you got to replace these guys. And it's unfortunate, we lose Kayvon Wallace. Damn it, what is wrong with me tonight? I'm telling you, it's that wacky Wednesday. It's almost October. Tomorrow is the last day of September. That is ridiculous. I just really can't deal with that. But Kayvon, unfortunately, going to the IR, out at least 3 weeks, possibly 6. And you talk about Isaac Seumalo out for the season. God, why can we just not? We can't have nice things. We really can't. So here's possibly the starting offensive line. We'll see about Landon Dickerson there. And we talk about Driscoll. His practice window was activated yesterday. So he and Josiah Scott will hope to see them back vying for some playing time, helping us in the secondary and in the trenches there. So Driscoll, maybe he pushes for one of those starting positions. Same with Sua Opeta. You never know. Stoutland likes both of those guys. And if Landon Dickerson is banged up, you don't want to hurt your second round pick. And he's been struggling. He needs some time here. He really just got to practice, then had to play. Really thrown into the fire. I don't like that. And he's dealing with an injury right now. He was on the injury report. He was limited today with a hip injury. You have Marcus Epps there with a shoulder. He was limited. Lane Johnson, ankle limited. And Jason Kelsey there with the foot, but his was listed as rest. I'm kind of concerned that Lane Johnson not listed as rest because usually these guys are getting rest anyway, but they're getting older. They get dinged up. We know this. And then Jordan Mailata was the only one that did not practice with his knee injury. Very unfortunate. We do not want to see him miss another game. We all love the dude, but Andre Dillard, I'm one of the only people that was really sitting here trying to say, I think he's going to show that he's actually improved. And that could really help us out, not only this year for depth, but then next year when you're trying to trade him. He has shown that he's definitely, maybe not a first-round pick, but he's getting better. So we shall see. He'll get another chance against the Chiefs. Not the greatest. I will talk about them here in a second. But, looks like he may get another start. We'll see. But some good news here. We did have Rodney McLeod and Davion Taylor as full participants. Yes. We need Davion Taylor as a coverage linebacker. I'm not saying he is going to save the day. We've talked about maybe trading for someone, adding someone, whatever you got to do via free agency, whatever. But Davion Taylor, we really need to see what he's got. Hopefully he is healthy, back from that injury. But, he just, that calf, everything else he has to deal with, it's just so unfortunate to see. We really want to see what the kid's got, but he's always banged up. So hopefully he's good to go this week against the Chiefs. We're going to need him in coverage. And then Rodney McLeod, we're going to need him in coverage. We talked about Kayvon Wallace being out. You just saw Marcus Epps on the injury report. So God help us all. Maybe Elijah Riley gets brought up. I don't know. Maybe the Eagles do something about it. I'm not sure here, but we got the Chiefs. The Chiefs we're about to talk about here. So let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go behind enemy lines with the Kansas City Chiefs. And this team, actually also reeling themselves from a couple losses, not so happy about. And they found themselves at the bottom of the AFC West here. Pretty wild to see that. This is definitely flip-flopped from years past. You got the Raiders at the top. And look, this is the beginning of the season. Things are definitely going to change. But at this point, just taking a gander here, what it looks like. But the Broncos with Bridgewater, the Raiders definitely improved. The Chargers looking good, just beat the Chiefs last week. It was a good game. And, the Chiefs are going to do everything they can to get back into true form. And unfortunately, they play us this week. So they're looking to get right against a team that has a lot of holes, a lot of issues that we've talked about the entire offseason. And we talked about the Cowboys probably exploit us. Oh, boy. Well, we talked about that might be pretty bad for the next stretch. Well, yeah, it's probably going to be bad because, the Kansas City Chiefs here, we're going to talk about, I think you guys know their head coach, Andy Reid, pretty good here. So he's going to come in with a game plan, work things out with Eric Bieniemy, and they're going to be coming right at us. And I do not feel very comfortable about this. I just want to see this team fight. I'll be real with you. Andy Reid, glad that he is healthy, good to go. Steve Spagnuolo back. We all remember him as well. And then Dave Taub in his fourth year as the special teams coordinator. So this team is good. They've got good coaches. They are well coached, and they are very talented. So we've got our hands full coming up. Let's take a look at how they've done the first few weeks here of the NFL season. You can see they have 107 rush yards per game, which is 13th, 306 pass yards per game. That's 5th. And then 413 total yards per game, 6th. And then points, 30.7. That's a pretty hefty amount of points each game. So this team is coming out swinging. This defense is going to have to figure out how to try to slow them down. And then when it comes to dealing with the sack, they are giving up only 1.3 sacks per game, which is good for third in the league. But then beyond that, they have 1 interception per game, which is 21st. They have 1.3 fumbles per game, 16th in the league, and then 2 turnovers per game, which is 29th. And if you watch that Chargers game, they were giving the ball up. Chargers got a pretty damn good defense. So our defense really has to try to start getting some turnovers. Enough with the stupid penalties, man. It's just getting very old. So we're going to see what this team has to. Oh, my God. Their offense is going to come at us. So this D better be ready. We better get some kind of pass rush. We talked about Milton Williams, what kind of defense we play. He would probably fill that role of Brandon Graham. Well, he did just that. So now we're going to have to see. Josh Sweat, please take the reps from Derek Barnett. He can come in, spell him. That's fine. But Josh Sweat needs to be in there predominantly. We need to get after the quarterback, please, for the love of God. Need to get some inside penetration from Fletcher Cox. Please, Javon Hargrave has been feasting. I love Javon Hargrave. So continue to dominate there, man. Milton Williams, I know you're just a rookie, so not expecting too much, but we really need you right now, dude, to step it up. Ridgeway coming in, doing well when he gets the chance. So let's see what these guys got. But we know who their quarterback is. That's Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the game right now. He can kill you anywhere, man. He's so smart, so good, so talented. And we know what he is. Chad Henne, they'll hope that he's not there, but this is the line that protects him. They have Orlando Brown there now, and dude, he's a stud. Joe Thuney there now. Creed Humphrey, man, what a great draft pick that was for them. Trey Smith and then Lucas Niang. You see the depth there, and then on the pup list, Kyle Long. But they've got a pretty good offensive line, and you saw the offensive ranks. I mean, they're helping these guys move the ball, helping Patrick Mahomes stay safe. Not giving up sacks. So we're going to have to try our best to penetrate this offensive line. We'll see what the Eagles defensive front can do here, but we really need to start getting some penetration. I'm not sure if Jonathan Gannon wants to start blitzing some of these guys, but these linebackers we have, this is why you need to put an emphasis on certain linebackers. But we tried in the draft. You see Patrick Johnson was getting some more snaps. I'd be intrigued to see if he gets some more snaps, tries to get after the quarterback. I would really love to see Patrick Johnson get a sack this week, really surprise some people, earn a job. I like what Jannard Avery is doing, but think of him more as a depth guy for Patrick Johnson in the future, because we talked about when we drafted him, what a great role he could play in Jonathan Gannon's defense if we were to have a hybrid 3-4 defense, which is exactly what we are. So I think the kid fits the role well. Now, these linebackers, the line, everybody's going to have to try to stop these running backs. You got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he's not exactly been great this year so far, but he's talented. Give him the ball. And all these guys, all three of them. Jerick McKinnon, when healthy, he's fast as hell. The dude that was like doing Olympic stuff. So, yeah, we got to watch out for him. And, they can catch the ball out of the backfield, and they can outfield. I'm thinking the Phillies. No, we won't go there. But I'll be real with you. These backs can get you anywhere, and we have not been the greatest against running backs right now. So we need to figure it out. My man, appreciate you taking the time to tune in. Hopefully you'll watch the rest later and let me know what you're thinking. Comment. Always try to get back to the comments on YouTube, wherever you're watching. Doesn't matter, but appreciate you, man. Enjoy your dinner. Have a great night. Stay safe. And I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing a bunch more content, just talking about this game coming up. So have a great night, man. Thanks for taking the time. Now, on to these wide receivers. These are the guys you really got to watch out for. Tyreek Hill. Now, McCole Hardman hasn't done that much to Marcus Robinson, almost just as much, if not as much. And then you got Byron Pringle gets his, Marcus Kemp a little bit. So these guys, you got to watch out for every single one of them. But we all know it's Tyreek Hill. So we got to see what Darius Slay, what kind of zone we're working with here, what Rodney McLeod and Anthony Harris look like together and, as safety. So I'm really excited about McLeod being back. We're going to have to try to stop these receivers some way, somehow. But I think the safeties are going to be a little preoccupied because they don't just have good wide receivers. They also have one of the best tight ends, if not the best tight end in the damn game, Travis Kelce. And they've been using Blake Bell and Noah Gray. These guys can all, and you guys know I liked Noah Gray before the draft. So, one of those guys that I saw that we cocould maybe use as an H-back, certain role, whatever. Regardless, they're going to use these dudes. And they're going to come at us. And I'll be real with you. I'm a little worried. We talked about last week, if these linebackers could stop Pitts and Kittle, hopefully we could stop Jarwin and Schultz. Didn't do that. We didn't do that on Monday. And Travis Kelce, holy I'm very intrigued to see what Gannon does, but we got to get after Patrick Mahomes. That's one of the first foremost things I have to say. So on to the defense now. Let's take a gander at these guys. You see here, their defense not the greatest, giving up 160.3 yards per game, 23rd against the pass, 30th though, 430 total yards per game. That's pretty rough. And then 31st when it comes to points, 31.7. You know that they were putting up like 30.7 or whatever, so they're giving up more. That's not very good. But they are ready to go to battle with anybody. That's what kind of team they are. You know, they can beat you in a shootout, and that's, you know, they welcome that. So Patrick Mahomes, pretty good, but this defense, not the greatest. So we got to hope that this offense can get clicking. Sirianni and Hurts can get on the same page, and we can get things figured out here, because if not, God help us all. Sorry, I had to take a drink there. Now, you see their defense, they're only getting 1.3 sacks per game. That's 29th. They're getting 1 interception per game. That's 7th, so that's not too bad. 1 fumble per game, forced fumble, that is. That's 12th. And then 1.3 turnovers per game. That's 11th. So at least they're getting some kind of turnovers, whereas we don't do any of that kind of stuff. But you take all those numbers with a grain of salt. We always say that here, but I know you guys like to see some of those stats, some of those numbers, put things into perspective. So hopefully you enjoyed that. But let's take a look at their defense. So they've got some pretty good defensive ends here, and Frank Clark and Chris Jones are, dude, they mean business, and I am intrigued to see how, you know, they might have a great defense, but they might not be getting too many sacks, but this might be the week where they do, because Chris Jones, Frank Clark, these guys, they can definitely penetrate, and we'll see. Lane Johnson, a little dinged up, but I think he'll be all right. We all know he is a beast, so hopefully he'll be all right, good to go. Alex Okafor will come in. He'll get his. Mike Dana. So we'll see what happens with their pass rush, but we can hope that we can somehow try to stop it. And then with the interior rush, we don't even know what the guards are going to be for the Eagles. You know, Sirianni doesn't want to give the competitive advantage. We have no idea who's going to be healthy. Landon Dickerson, Jack Driscoll. I don't know if he's ready yet. You talk about Sua Opeta. So gonna be, but we know Nate Herbig. He'll get one of the spots. I think he'll probably take right guard, and we'll see who's at left. Maybe Sua Opeta. I think it could be Opeta because everyone else is saying all these other names, but I think Stoutland really likes him, and I know he was just on the practice squad, but they need guys they're comfortable with. We'll see, though. We shall see. You know, I'll keep you up to date with that. But they're gonna have to deal with these guys in the middle here. Jerron Reed, man, they added him, and he's a beast. And Derek Nottie, Kalen Saunders, Tershawn Wharton. So they're going to really just try to get after Hurts, but I think Hurts will do what he can to avoid them. So I'm not saying that we should sleep lightly on these guys, but it's not exactly what we just dealt with the last couple of weeks. And, you know, Micah Parsons is an anomaly. He can play all over the place. He's really good. So luckily we don't have to deal with him, but we do have some pretty talented guys coming up here. Nick Bolton being one of those guys, you know, we talked about before the draft, son of a, but we don't put an emphasis on linebacker. So then we got to face them against the Chiefs. So Anthony Hitchens, I'm sure we're going to see Nick Bolton. That's going to piss me off. Ben Neiman is also one of the starters when they're in 4-3. Darius Harris, Dorian O'Daniel, and they play some nickel here too. But they've got some injuries. Regardless, we'll talk about that. Willie Gay on the IR, but they've got some talent there. You know, Anthony Hitchens we used to deal with in Dallas there, but Nick Bolton I really am a fan of. Son of a bitch. I hate the fact that he is a Colt. So now we have to, or Chief. I'm sorry, trying to read. Yeah, my man was reading and talking at the same time. Trying to multitask here. What's going on, my man? Hopefully you enjoyed your time at Rancid and Dropkick Murphys. I do believe it was. Dude, what a good time I bet that was. Wanted to see, dude, I just had someone tell me that. I like Micah Parsons. I'm a Penn State fan. I definitely wanted to see that, but I'll be real with you. I love Devontae Smith. So I'm totally for that pick. And I don't like that he is a Cowboy because I hated Sean Lee being there. But, well, it is what it is. And, hey, he was really talented. Lane Johnson, you know, is pretty talented too. So we saw what it was. Good matchup. The Cowboys, man, they beat our ass. So on to the cornerbacks now of the Kansas City Chiefs. We got L'Jarius Sneed and Charvarius Ward. Ward was a little banged up last week. So Felton get a little more time. DeAndre Baker, we remember with the Giants, had a little bit of legal issue there. So he's now playing for the Chiefs, played his first game last week against the Chargers. But he is there. Mike Hughes in the slot. When they are in the nickel, he will be their nickel cornerback. So we remember him with Minnesota. I think, Jalen Hurts, once again, has guys that we thought he could take advantage of in Dallas. But Trevon Diggs, we talked about him improving. Anthony Brown, whatever, dude. Jordan Lewis. I just really don't believe this offense, man. Yeah, just need to be on the same page. Need to come out with a better game plan, way better. I know you're at home. It's a different atmosphere. I don't know if you had the jitters, whatever it was, freaking out. That's fine. But you need to really just hone in and realize you're facing the Chiefs. I just want to see you fight. It's a home game, man. You better come out. You better come out swinging. Like both players, both would have been a good picture. Yeah, exactly. So I'm just happy to have a great receiver. We talked about having him and Reagor and Watkins, what they could be in the future. And I still think they can be that. And people are already jumping on board, like telling them they suck and freaking out. It's like, dude, I hate social media. But it's like, man, let's just see what these kids can grow into. Give them time with Jalen Hurts. These guys, like, oh my God. First year, these guys are all working together as a unit. Let's see what Sirianni can figure out. But yeah, I knew what you meant, man. And I like them both. But you know that I was huge on Devontae Smith this year, just like I was regular the year before. So I just wanted this receiver game to finally be something. We never get these stud receivers. I like them together. And I think with Watkins needs to keep seeing, which he has seen, progression in snap count. Keep doing that, and let's go attack this secondary. But talk about the corners, they're decent, but the safeties, they've got some pretty good safeties here. You've got Daniel Sorensen, and then, of course, the Honey Badger. Juan Thornhill gets his as well. And I think, Tyrann Mathieu, he's always looking to get a turnover. You never know with this dude, so you got to watch out. But he's going to be watching Jalen Hurts. This defense, it's really weird. I've had them in fantasy before, and, this year I watched them for the last couple of weeks, and, they really have an interesting defense. They can get some turnovers, do some things, but they can also give up some points and yards. So we shall see if we can attack these guys, but we shall not forget the special teams here, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll talk about the return game. They use Mike Hughes sometimes, but the kick returner is Byron Pringle and McCole Hardman. So they got the receivers back there as their returners. So a decent return game. These guys are always looking for home runs. You got to watch out there. So another game where the returners, luckily we've shut them down, done a pretty good job the last few weeks. I've really liked Andre Sachare and what the special teams unit has done here. So we just talked about adding Malveaux. We'll see what he can do. Maybe block some punts or, field goals. We'll see. But then their kicker, pretty damn good, but, kills my fantasy team because they never kick effing field goals. Harrison Butker have to drop you and keep Daniel Carlson. Luckily to pick him up. Weird to have two kickers, so it's got to go. But the punter, Tommy Townsend, and then James Winchester. Feel like I'm watching an old Western with these names. All right. Now, that is the Kansas City Chiefs. So I hope you did enjoy that. If you have any thoughts on this roster, let me know. The next couple episodes, we will do the top 10 matchups. We will do the roster advantages. Last week we had the Cowboys winning that one. Unfortunately, just a better roster, but, just comparing the matchup, seeing the quarterback, who has a better advantage. You guys know the drill. This will be week 4 doing it. So I hope you enjoyed going behind enemy lines with the Kansas City Chiefs. So, I'm going to get rolling out here, though. Hope you enjoyed that. If you missed any in the beginning, we went over the Eagles news for the day, all the transactions, the practice squad, active roster, all of the injury report news. So, yes, thank you for taking the time. If you're watching this later, you can always comment, always try to get back to you guys. Appreciate you taking the time and following me on all of these platforms, hitting that like button, retweeting, subscribing to that YouTube channel. I truly appreciate you guys hitting that subscribe button because the numbers are going up. And it's awesome to, just see that community grow there. I just love it much more than certain places I've had to deal with. So enjoying my time here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Reach out if you guys need anything, whether you want to talk about birds, you need to talk about life. It's all good. I try to be here as much as I can for you guys as you are for me. So I appreciate you guys. Hope you're all having a great night. Stay safe out there. And as always, go birds!